4.543 billion years ago, the Earth formed. Earth formed 4.6 billion years ago. It was very different from today's Earth. And then 3.9 billion years ago, oh, I'm sorry, right here. Earth began as a hot ball of rock. It's going to be very hard, dankest Betty White, whatever you're smoking, but listen carefully. Focus, Daniel San. Earth began as a hot ball of rock. Stay with me now. Focus, okay? 3.9 billion years ago, it cooled down and it began to rain on the rocks. Okay?
Rain on the what?
The rocks. It rained on the rocks, okay? Yeah, we're at a good point. Millions of years of torrential rains created the oceans. Earth Science book right there. Earth started out as a ball of very, very hot liquid. The liquid was mostly made of two elements called oxygen and silica. There were small amounts of other elements too. In fact, it was a mixture of almost every element in existence. From theconversation.com. Downloaded in February here. After a few hundred million years, the temperature of Earth reached 2,000 degrees, the melting point of iron, and Earth's core was formed. So the Earth is still a hot ball of rock.
Wouldn't that take a whole lot of energy?
But this is cooling off, okay? It's losing energy, right? Focus here now. Earth formed 4.54 billion years ago, 1/3 the age of the universe. Swirling in the waters of these oceans that are forming as it rained on the rocks is a bubbling broth of complex chemicals. Progress from a complex chemical soup to a living organism was very slow. Is that saying it slowly came from a rock? Yeah. It is in these oceans, 3.5 billion years ago, scientists believe the first living organisms appeared. Downloaded in March of this year. The oceans formed 3.8 billion years ago. Remember, Earth formed 4.6. Had to cool off for a while. It was a really hot ball of rock. Cooled off for a long, long time. And it rained on the oceans, okay? The oceans formed. And it was the hot soup. Scientists cracked the 40-year-old DNA puzzle and point, hot soup is the origin of life. The primordial soup of where life began on Earth was hot and not cold. From Science Daily, okay? Primordial soup, prebiotic soup, is the hypothetical set of conditions present on Earth 4.2 to 4.0 billion years ago. Okay, let's see. Downloaded in February. What does primordial soup consist of? The seas and atmosphere as they existed on Earth before the existence of life, consisting primarily of oxygen-free gaseous mixture containing chiefly water. Oxygen-free. Doesn't water contain oxygen? I think it's H2 something or other. Oh, yeah, okay. Hydrogen, methane, ammonia, and carbon dioxide.
Doesn't hot water evaporate and release oxygen?
Well, doesn't dioxide means, you know, two oxygens? Okay, anyway. Primordial soup from dictionary.com. Life on Earth first bloomed around 3.7 billion years ago, when chemical compounds in the primordial soup somehow sparked into life. Now, stay with me, Drosophiliac, or whatever you are, and dumb Betty White, or something, whatever. Okay. The primordial soup came from the rocks getting rained on. So the Earth began as a hot ball of rock, then it rained on the rocks and turned them into soup, and the soup somehow sparked into life. I didn't make it up, okay? Primordial soup theory suggests that life began in a pond or ocean as a result of the combination of chemicals from the atmosphere and some form of energy to make amino acids, the building blocks of proteins, which would then evolve into all the species. The first self-replicating systems must have emerged in this organic soup. They've been teaching this for a long time. I got textbooks from the 80s, 90s, 2000. Yep. So 13.772 billion years ago, there was a big bang where nothing exploded. It spread out everywhere. and a whole bunch of the nothing got together and made Earth 4.6 billion years ago. It was a hot ball of rock, really hot. Okay, all the nothing turned into a rock. And then it rained on the rocks for a long time, and they cooled down enough, and life appeared 3 billion years ago. Yes, guys, you do think you came from primordial soup, and the primordial soup came from the rocks getting rained on.
How does nothing turn into a rock?
You're not allowed to ask questions like that. You want to flunk this class, ma'am? Okay. So we came from a rock. How about this one? Downloaded today. This is April 29th, today, downloaded a couple hours ago. Earth formed 4.54 billion years ago, 1/3 the age of the universe. Okay, let's see. When the solar system settled into its current layout 4.5 billion years ago, Earth formed when gravity pulled swirling gas and dust in to become the third planet from the sun. Like its fellow terrestrial planets, Earth had a central core, a rocky, which is the root word would be rock, okay? A rocky mantle and a solid crust. I'm trying to use small words so you guys can get it from whatever you're smoking or whatever they do with this, okay? In-depth Earth, NASA solar system. Earth formed 4.5 billion years ago. Scientific American. Continents and oceans encircled by oxygen-rich atmosphere support familiar life forms. Yet this consistency is an illusion. They go in this article talking about life coming from the soup, from the rocks that got rained on. How about Sutori.com, 4.56 billion years ago. Oh, we got to talk to, they got to get together on their numbers here, but that's okay. The Earth began and it was a hot ball of rock. This is what is taught. Here's a HumanOriginProject.com. It talks about 4.6 million years ago, the Earth formed. Well, they have a little problem here. It should be billion, guys. Get your, why don't you make it trillion, just to give you enough time, okay? Quadrillion, okay. Downloaded today. The earliest known life forms on Earth are putative fossilized microorganisms found in hydrothermal vent precipitates that may have lived as early as 4.28 billion years ago. Relatively soon after the oceans formed, wait a minute, the life came after the oceans formed 4.41 billion years ago. And not long after the Earth formed 4.54 billion years ago. Is this teaching life came from the rocks? Am I making it up, or is this what they're saying? Okay. How about from Wikipedia? If life evolved in deep ocean near a hydrothermal vent, it could have originated as early as 4 to 4.2 billion years ago. If, on the other hand, life originated at the surface of the planet, so is it deep water or shallow water? We don't know. Need more government grants to go find out. A common opinion is it could have done so between 3.5 and 4 billion years ago. Either way, it came from the oceans, which came from the rocks. Still no source for a textbook that says evolution says we came from a rock. Okay, the dankest Betty White. I think I gave plenty of sources, all right? And Drosophiliac, the books do teach we came from a rock. Keep your head down and you won't get whacked next time. It's a real simple game. Whack-a-mole, whack an atheist, love it. I was right. You do teach you came from a rock. And if you want to believe that, that's fine. I don't care if you want to think this is your grandpa. I honestly don't care. But I don't understand how you could drive on the highway when this is made out of all your ancestors. Talk about disrespectful. Think about it. Just think about it. Do not peel out or skid your tires on grandpa, please. Any other questions about we come from a rock, right?